What a win. What a win. Do what you got to. Fake punt, fake field goal, whatever bullet you got. Just with the weather like it was going to be today, with as many guys out, as many young guys playing, we felt like we needed every possible opportunity to try to steal a possession here or there. And turned out this is what we needed. So really proud of the guys. A lot of ugly nature of the kind of game it was going to be, but made plays that we had to win it and overcame tough day. So really proud. That gets us one step closer where we want to be. So hopefully we can build on it and get some guys back and get some guys healthy and move forward and travel well to Hawaii this week. What questions you got?
Does Nick Brimsky get his bonus this week?
There's a lot of people involved in that. Nick, Bobby Dodd, everybody coaches over there. So we put a lot of pride in special teams, always have, and just felt like we had some strategic things that would be beneficial today. And you call them and they work, you're a hero. You call them, they don't. Everybody's going to think you're an idiot. I just felt like they were necessary at the time. I thought they were well designed and well executed. So Nick, Bobby, all the guys that coach on special teams, everybody did a great job. And the kids, they did exactly what we asked them to do in those situations. And then great effort play on the punt to flip the field like we were doing, and then to get the turnover. That came at a big time, I thought. So.
I wanted to ask about Jamie Nance. It seems like he's done that a couple times now. What have you seen?
He's got unbelievable speed. That's why he's out there at that particular position. He takes a lot of pride in that. He loves that role and has been impactful. He and Jaden Smith and Xavier Steele, they take a lot of pride in getting down and eliminating returns, but also the ability to get a turnover. We had one against Wyoming, get another one here. Think back to the championship game last year, a big turnover created by just the pressure that they create. And Jamie's speed is elite speed. It's the best thing he brings to the table, that along with just great effort. And he's made some mistakes along the way out there at times with some early contact. He's gotten better and better. I thought he was right where he needed to be and couldn't have come at a better time to me in terms of how the game was going.
Was Stephen Constantly's run on a punt a called play?
Yeah, it was a design play. We saw an opportunity based off of something that we caught on film and felt like that the way we would execute it would kind of attack what they do. And it just so happens that everybody did exactly what they're supposed to. Don't know how much more yards we could have gotten. We got just enough. It was really just another opportunity, especially with the wind like it was, to steal a possession. We were in the wind at the time and didn't really want to miss that opportunity. So we didn't I don't think we got points out of that drive, but we definitely were able to extend the drive, run the clock, and change field position.
Coach Anderson, it was always going to be a struggle offensively today with the weather, but bottom line, you didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You won turnover march against those guys, which
was hard to do.
That's one of their strengths, clearly. So how big of a deal was it to at least to not make any game-changing mistakes today?
Yeah, I love the fact that you found the one positive in our offensive performance today.
I don't know about that.
You'd love to. I felt like last year the weather didn't play a factor. We were able to play out in space a little bit better than we were today. It's extremely hard to run the ball against Rocky and Danny's defense, and it proved to be today. The weather didn't cooperate for us to throw and catch very well. I felt like that they did a good job of keeping Coop kind of confused a little bit. There were times that I think he was struggling with all the movement. Not turning the ball over is a huge step today because if you give them a short field along the way, you may not finish this one the way we did. So that in itself, putting special teams on the field, punting the ball, flipping the field in a day like today, you can't take that for granted. And we did that better than they did in terms of the kicking game. We definitely won that area of the field. And we're going to go back and watch tape, be really frustrated with a lot of stuff offensively, I think. But that's the nature of what they do. They're really good at it.
You kind of talked about this just now. I'm curious. The first half, obviously, on offense was not great for you.
I thought they were both pretty bad, but I think it's a little everything. I think some of it is weather, some of it is just bad execution, some of it is their defense is they are very good at what they do. It is built to get you off schedule, keep you behind the chains, confuse and frustrate you. That's the first time Coop's really seen that from that from that vantage point, you could see where he was frustrated all day. We just didn't break anything open like we needed to gain rhythm and create tempo. Some of that weather was dictating what we could and couldn't do, but just some of it was just pure execution and good plays on their part by their defense. I mean, who knows what that defense is going to look like if those guys all grew up. Ton of young guys playing, and I think they're playing defense at a really high level.
Coach, with another thing was the penalties today that I saw a lot early. I mean, both for and against.
Yeah.
How you that impacted the game?
Well, luckily it didn't cost us a game because I thought we had way too many. I mean, Max Alford had 2 just careless penalties. The penalty on Sturger, ends up not being able to finish. We finished the game with 1 tight end. Got to walk away from those situations. I can deal with the competitive penalties. I can't deal with the penalties after the snap that are, just poor decisions. So frustrated there, and luckily we survived it because it could have easily, been a bigger factor than it was.
Coach, just considering just like the distractions this past week with the program, how do you feel your team did just preparation wise and just going out and playing football?
I felt like practice all week was really good considering all the noise off the field. It's hard to expect those guys to drown that out. They're kids. They see it. Social media is going crazy, and there's a different headline every day. But I was really pleased with our practices, their approach. Tried to tell them just control what you can control and keep your head forward and let the process work itself out. I mean, we didn't play great today. We didn't play perfect, but we found a way to win. And when you consider the team that we're rolling out there and how many young guys and how many new guys and how many starters are not out there, we'll take every win we can get regardless. We're going to need another one just like it next week. So I'm very proud of the guys. I really am.
What does a healthy Ike Larson do for this defense?
A healthy Ike Larson, that kid is getting better every snap. He is, how can I say this without making it sound like it's not a compliment? He's just oblivious to the moment. It just doesn't register with him that he's out there in the middle of a college game with pressure. I mean, he just loves to play, and it's like he's out in the backyard playing ball. And I think it's a good thing for him. It's why he's not afraid to go back and block a punt. It's why he's not afraid to be in one-on-one coverage when, he doesn't have any help over the top. He just loves to play, very competitive and very poised and calm in the environment. Maybe because he just hadn't been there before. I don't know, but whatever it is, he's been really a big, pleasant surprise for us all year.
Think of the ball security from your kicker on that touchdown.
I didn't watch the play. I didn't.
It was good. He held off.
Good, great. I just know they raised their hands and people cheered. Called it, and then I turned around and started walking the other way. And luckily, we ran it in practice the other day from a little bit further out, and he had to stop and take a break between there and the end zone. So he doesn't run a whole lot. Luckily, we were just far enough that nobody could catch him. Well executed, well-designed play. Coach P and Coach Dodd brought that one to me last Sunday, and we watched a lot of tape and felt good about it. We executed it well in practice all week, and I thought the kids, executed it perfectly on the field. So I'll be looking forward to watching it on tape because I really didn't see it happen.
What Coach Anderson, what's Calvin Tyler's status?
Calvin had concussion symptoms enough that we held him, and so we'll just have to see if he is diagnosed with a concussion and goes into protocol, or if it was just a very cautious approach to not throwing him back out there. So we'll see where that goes.
Coach, the defense, the first half they were giving up, like Lance said, it was like 6 yards per run. And the second half, they only give up 79 total yards.
Yeah.
What happened? Do you think there was an improvement in physicality, or what was the change there?
I think we didn't tackle particularly well in the first half. A lot of times that we were there and couldn't get the guy on the ground. Struggled a little bit with a mobile quarterback. I think both Max and Sione were kind of a little over-aggressive and overrunning some things that could have fitted a little differently. We went in at halftime and just talked. We didn't change a whole lot, to be truthful. Really just kind of calmed them down and reminded them of technique that we've talked about all week. And then we played much better in the second half. Coach Bandon may have got to a few different calls, but we didn't change much. We just kind of settled down and played the technique we're taught. And you're going to get some of those mistakes coming to young guys that haven't played very much. Anything else? Appreciate it.
Connor, how long have you been asking for them to let you do that?
Man, I never even asked. I didn't think it was in the cards. I always thought if I was going to get a touchdown, I'd have to get like a strip on kickoff cover or something. But yeah, when coach told me that we were installing it that week and I was the guy who was running it in, I was a little bit surprised, but like, super excited. Yeah, so I'm really glad for the opportunity.
How confident were you that that play call worked?
Well, it was working really well against like all week in practice, and so I was asking like the hole's not going to be that big. I actually asked my special teams coordinator like the hole's not going to be that big on game day, right? He said no, I think it is. And Calvin Knapp and Alfred Edwards, I wish I could share the points with them because they made it really easy for me. They opened up a massive hole and I just caught the pitch and looked up and the end zone was there, so I just had to walk it in. And so yeah, really grateful for Alfred and Calvin and Perimsky. The whole play design was really nice.
So was it more nerve-wracking for you, like right before that play than maybe some of the other field goals?
Yeah, it was just a different feeling. Field goals, once I get back there, it's something I'm really comfortable with. I've been doing for a lot of years, lots of reps, and so I kind of fall back into my training. And with that, I was feeling a little bit like, okay, well, I've been running it through practice, but I haven't practiced getting hit or anything like that. So I was a little bit nervous about how it was going to work out, but I had a lot of confidence in Calvin and Alfred, and so yeah, I wasn't too worried.
You practice your ball security?
Yes, I did. I had to Google how to like read blocks and things like that this week.
Connor, it's a marquee day for all special teams. You cover them up, you get the fake punt from constantly. So, just how good does it feel as a unit to execute that well?
It feels great. Yeah, Steven had an awesome game. He got the first down there, and I knew it was mine was coming up, and so that was exciting to see that. And Jacob Garcia did a great job snapping all game. Even once the rain started, we practiced that during the week because we knew the rain was going to come in, and so yeah, just special teams has always been kind of a high bar here, and so it feels really great to be able to continue that tradition.
Yeah, Connor. I mean, ever since you've been here, it really has. It's been you guys consistently been good on special teams for several years now, honestly, even under the previous staff. So, how fitting was it that you guys really were able to have a game where you guys really factored into the final outcome?
You just have to, you never know when it's going to come down to the special teams, but we always are making an impact on the game. And so it's just about doing your 111th and training all week to make sure that we can just consistently do our job and help the team out when they need us.
Connor, so individually, you outscored the New Mexico like 15-10. Like usually it's the offense or defense, but how does that type of game where you were responsible for a lot of the points, like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it feels really good just to be able to, I do my 111th for the team, and when my number is called, just show up and get it done. But everyone did it. Like I thought that, like I was saying, if I could give it to Alfred and Calvin, I would. Those guys made that really easy for me, and Steven and Jacob on the operation and just the protection all night was incredible. So really made my job easy.
Connor, can I ask you just about just Coach Perimsky? What's the nature of his coaching style, and how does kind of just the special teams unit just give us a glimpse of what it's like from day to day, I guess?
No, yeah. Perimsky's he's a great coach. Definitely one of the best coaches I've ever worked with. He's he's a funny guy, and he's definitely not afraid of calling you out for something. I remember last year after I had a tough week against UNLV, I had 2 misses and a block against UNLV last year, and then going into Colorado State just before the game, she walked by me and was like, "Let's try to make one today, Coles, huh?" But it's like it comes from a place of love, and he just cares a lot, and he's does a great job of organizing and putting in schemes and just getting everyone to commit all in on him. So yeah, can't say enough good things about Coach Perimsky.
In all fairness, did you have a back injury last year?
No, it was a foot injury. Yeah. And so I was out for the whole offseason and things like that. I only got a kick like 3 days before Washington State last year. So this year, being able to have a full offseason to get down and train with my coach, I go down and train with one-on-one kicking with Mike McCabe. And I go down there in the summer and train with him for a month. And so being able to get down there and do that this year just gave me a lot more confidence coming into this season. So, yeah.
Anything else for Connor?
Awesome. Thank you.
Hunter, so New Mexico is really known for their defense, but on offense, playing against this team, how satisfied were with how you limited them to 10 points? Did that feel good?
It feels good, but at the same time, there's a lot of things we could have worked on or we can work on. In the first half, there were a lot of instances where we were missing tackles or guys not doing their job. And at halftime, the point of emphasis was really just get back to the basics, do what we can do. So while, holding them to 10 points is good, especially in a game like this against a great defense with bad weather, we have to do a better job on defense of, we have them pinned back, keeping them pinned back, or flipping the field so our offense can start in better positions.
Why do you think you guys started the game slow?
I think a mix of it is just, we're kind of a younger team this year than we were last year. Last year, we had a lot of seniors. I was kind of a young guy in terms of our defense, and it was my 5th year in college. So this year, we just have a lot of young guys playing today, especially, guys like Ike Larson, Dom Tatum, Sione, and Max all stepped up. But I think sometimes we just get off the slow starts, especially at home. I think it's kind of been a 2-year thing, too. Like last year, we got down, I think, in every game we played. So it's just one of those things where we got to come out with more energy, more passion, more juice to start the game. And, I mean, you saw the difference. First half, they were kind of getting stuff. Second half, we did a much better job limiting scoring points on offense.
How much were you energized by that fake field goal touchdown? Because you guys really did play lights out defensively. They had like a 42-yard run. Other than that, they didn't have any explosives after half.
Yeah, no, definitely got the energy up on the sideline. Just anytime special teams can make a play, I feel like that really turns the tide in the game. Whether it's a block punt, kickoff return for a touchdown, or how we had it, fake punt, and then also Connor hit the touchdown. That just, kind of injects life into the team.
Just having Ike seemingly at least healthy enough to play a lot of snaps, what does that mean for the defense after that?
It means a lot. We trust him out there. We trust Dom out there. I'll tell you, we mess with them a lot in meetings, but at the end of the day, they're both great players. And having them out there, we feel confident. As a defender, I feel confident having them next to me, either one of them, or whether we're in, third down package, having them both on the field. They're both playmakers, and, we trust them a lot.
Hunter, how big of a deal was it to win the turnover margin today? I mean, that's something New Mexico's really excelled at during ever since Rocky Long's been there.
Yeah, we always say on defense, we got to come away with turnovers. We say on our goal board, it's create one more turnover than touchdown allowed. So we did that today. But, just like I said before, we have an offense, a lot of young guys playing, a lot of new guys playing, bad weather, good defense. We have to, as a defense, do a good job of putting them in good field position. We have to do a good job of creating momentum for the team. So I think we did a good job of that today.
Can you just walk us through that scoop and score? Like when you went to recover it, did you see the field and felt like you could return it? Or
I just knew we were in man coverage. Everyone was downfield. The rush did a great job of flushing the quarterback, chasing him down. And then, funny enough, last year against New Mexico, I actually had a fumble recovery, but I could have returned it for a touchdown. I kind of kicked it and ended up just falling on it. So I looked down at the ground and I was like, oh, well, I got to get this one. I got this one. Can't mess it up a second time. So, lightning never strikes twice. So last year I messed it up. This year I got it right. So it's a good feeling.
You've had quite a few interceptions this year. I'm curious, would you have rather had a pick six or is the fumble recovery just as good?
I think personally I'd like a pick six, but either way, just helping the team out in any way, that's what I strive for.
Hunter, you alluded to this earlier, but with all those youngsters that are playing, especially with MJ and some other guys down, how do you feel like you've maybe helped them and stepped up as a leader? Maybe last year you were a newer guy.
Yeah. Leadership was one of the big things Bonda and I talked about over the offseason and still talk about. So I think with having younger guys out there, it's a better opportunity for me to, like last year, with guys like Nick, Marcus, Jay Rice, I kind of take like that backseat role and, do my job and I'll still be a leader, but I don't have to be as hands-on. This year, it's, sometimes doing the uncomfortable thing. Like if I see guys not doing the right thing, calling it out and, really setting the standard so everyone knows on defense and even on the whole team what we're looking for and what we're supposed to be doing. So I think with the younger guys, it's just, you have to have a heightened sense of awareness to really like lock in and say, okay, I have to be doing it right, but I also have to make sure I'm holding everyone else accountable or else we'll fall apart.